Hello beautiful people, welcome to the channel. The Witchy Goth here, hope you're doing well. Today's video is another one of my Women Be Very Afraid videos. Lots of red flags in this story. So she's asking for advice. Hello, me, 24 female, and my husband, who's 36 male, have been married for 2 years. I don't know what came over him, but last week he yelled at me for not picking up his mum's call. I was in the kitchen at the time washing rice and I genuinely didn't hear the call. My husband was in the washroom, so he didn't hear it either. She called him 3 times. Later, when he saw the call, he got mad at me since I was in the kitchen, so I could have easily picked up the phone that was in the living room. I really would have done that if I actually heard it, but he said I was making up excuses and if some speaker was in my ears for me not to hear the ringing. Doesn't really make sense, that little bit, but anyway. Honestly, whenever I wash rice, the noise of the water coming through the tap is just so loud. Even if someone were to tell me something standing close, I wouldn't hear them. But he didn't believe it and just kept getting louder. He said I'm disrespecting his mum. He said I need to pay more attention to my surroundings and not have my head in some imaginary world. I was already upset because of how loudly he was speaking to me, so I raised my voice too and asked why he didn't just take his phone with him to the washroom. But out of nowhere he raised his hands at me, and I'm not even kidding, he said, "Shut your mouth." He's never said that to me before, so I was beyond taken aback, and then he said he regrets marrying me. We haven't spoken to each other over the week. He's ignoring me. I was expecting a sorry, but he is acting as if I don't live in the same house. Now, I don't even know if he means what he said or if I did something wrong or if I should just apologise. Right now, my thoughts keep circling back to him saying he regrets marrying me. So I was considering a divorce. I haven't told my parents what happened, but I did call my friend and cry for a while. She said that was rude of him, but it's better to not make it into a huge issue like divorce. Am I the asshole? What do I do now? Okay, not the asshole. Definitely not. Okay, so going back to the beginning, a lot of issues in here, a lot of gaslighting, a lot of blaming, and a lot of creating trauma. Very much Darvo here, deny, attack, reverse, victim and offender, which is very much the narcissistic way of doing things. However, the biggest problem at the beginning, she's 24, he's 36. That's a 12-year age gap. So they've been married for 2 years, so she was 22 and they were dating before that. I would suggest here that he has been trying to control her, coerce her, shape her and mold her into what he feels is a partner for him. Is it her duty to pick up his phone? When it comes to cell phones, if my phone is ringing and I had a partner, I wouldn't expect them to answer the phone. I wouldn't want them to answer the phone. To be honest, that to me seems wrong. When I'm at my mum's, sometimes her phone rings and she can't see properly and I say, do you want me to answer it? You know, so there's that respect there. And he could have taken his phone into the washroom. Most of us take our phones with us wherever we go in the house. I do. Perhaps a bad habit, but most of us do it. She was in the kitchen. She said she couldn't hear it. And I have to agree with this. My water tap, when it's running and filling the bowl with water, and I'm listening to a channel on YouTube, which I often do while I'm washing dishes, I have to pause it while the water's running because it makes a noise. The kettle makes a huge noise while I am listening to a podcast or a YouTube channel. So I can completely understand that she wouldn't hear it. And then he accused her of being in an imaginary world. She's washing rice. She's preparing his food. I probably would have said something along the lines of, well, you stand here and wash the rice with the tap full blast, and then I'll ring you on your phone from another pot and see if you hear it. You know, simple way to check to see if she's telling the truth. Personally, I think she is. I think he's having a bit of a hissy fit, you know, saying that she's disrespecting his mom. No, she isn't. This is the thing with modern technology and cell phones, is that we are expected to answer the phone 24/7. And it's very, very encroaching on our time. I don't like it. I often do not answer the phone when it rings. I will end the call or cancel the call and wait to see if they send me a message or leave me a message. Then I will decide if I'm going to phone them back or not. If it's my mom, I answer it because it could be an emergency. If it's my sister, I answer it because it could be an emergency. But we screen calls. Why must we be available 24/7 to other people? We also need our downtime. So if you want to put your phone on sleep, on airplane mode, whatever you feel you need to do, but we shouldn't have to be available 24/7. So he had raised his voice to her, and he was now attacking her. He raised his hands. So I'm assuming he went like that. She doesn't say that he actually did lay that hand on her, but he raised his hand. That thought was there. And he told her to shut your mouth. Now that is disrespectful. That is controlling. That is attacking her for his failure to take his phone with him to the toilet. He is blaming her, deny, attack, and reversing himself into being the victim and she as the offender. And then he said he regrets marrying her. Those three things, raising his hand, telling her to shut her mouth, and that he regrets marrying her. Leave. Just leave. Just go. End it. It's not worth staying there. The fact that this is playing on her mind, that, he regrets marrying her, is, proof enough that that is going to stay in her mind forever. No matter if he apologises, and he hasn't apologised, he will be waiting for her to apologise, to say, I'm sorry I didn't answer the phone. That is what he'll be waiting for. But she's not in the wrong here. I've reached my target goal steps for the day by waving my arm around. She should be afraid, because next time he may just lay his hand on her. Telling her to shut up may be the least of the abuse. These are massive, massive red flags. Her friend telling her that she shouldn't make a huge issue of it, I will disagree. If I were her friend, I would say, you know what, leave, because he's going to do that again and it's going to be worse. And this woman does not deserve this treatment. So no, she's not the asshole. I hope she doesn't apologise. I hope that she also dumps that friend. I hope that she calls her parents and tells her parents what happened, although often parents will say, oh, it's okay, da, 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 da. But I hope that she gets the help she needs to leave, because the fact that he did that over a phone call, nothing serious, indicates that if it was something serious, it could be way, way worse. If you've enjoyed the video, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Hope to see you next time. Blessed be.